So what happens if you want to put an end to a contract, any kind of contract? You don't want to be in the contract anymore. You want to, you've made a change of plans. You've made you know, a change of anything, a change of place, a location where you're going to be, and you're not going to be available to perform on the contract. What is it? What are the ways in which you can get out of a contract? What are your options? Well, one of the things you want to do is look at the term of the contract. Does it renew automatically? And what kind of notice requirements does it provide for if a party wants to get out of the contract? Is that allowed for them to get out of it? And do they have to, give a certain how many months notice or how many days notice is required? If it's a contract that automatically renews, then, maybe what you want to do is figure out when the next automatic renewal is and just kind of like stay there, stick it out until whatever that time is supposed to happen, and then let them know that you don't want the next automatic renewal to happen. Another thing you want to do is maybe look at the forum selection clause. Is this something that is supposed to be arbitrated, or is this a contract that you would have to go to court to dispute? So if it's something that you're supposed to arbitrate or do some sort of mediation on, that's kind of convenient, because then whatever the issues are regarding why you want to end the contract, it might be a lot easier to just kind of sit across from whoever is the member of the contract with you and just kind of hash out and explain to them why you want to get out of it, and come up with some sort of a bargain. Maybe you give them this amount or whatever, come up with some sort of a compromise on the situation. If it's a contract that provides that there would be a lawsuit automatically, then okay, well, then you're probably going to have to deal with their lawyers right away if you want to get out of it. And they may not be as they may be compromising, but in a lot of situations they may want to be more aggressive with you. You never know. It all depends on the kind of situation that it is. um yeah, so those are the kinds of things that you want to think about in terms of whether or not how easy or difficult it is that it's going to be for you to get out of the contract. Another thing to think about is what does the contract define as a breach. So basically, if you can make an argument that the other party has already done something that substantially breaches the agreement, that they've already broken the agreement in some way, then that allows you to get out of the contract more easily. You can say that, certain provisions of the contract have been waived because the other party has engaged in this action and that action and that action. Therefore, they don't really have the right to say that you're bound by any other portions of the contract anymore. So you can make that argument in that kind of situation. So even if the contract doesn't define what substantial breach is versus something that's not considered to be one, you can kind of use the course of dealing in that industry or the course of dealing between the parties to kind of try to figure out what that ought to be and make the argument for why that is. And so those are some ideas of how you can kind of compromisingly figure out a way to not to get out of a business contract or something if you need to.